Ballad of Birmingham about?
Well, this poem is about a mother and a child arguing whether to go to the Freedom March or not. The mother wants the child to go to the church because the church back then used to be a safe haven for people and the last place people would ever imagine an explosion would occur. And that's where her child gets sent to. But then that is where the explosion happens, and that is where the big tragedy, that is how the big tragedy ends the story of this poem.
So what are the poetic devices in this poem?
I used a lot of end rhymes, like in this place right here, I said, "For the dogs are fierce and wild, and clubs and hoses, guns and jails aren't good for a little child." Notice how wild and child rhymes. Yeah. I also used a lot of internal rhyming, which is a rhyme that happens within a sentence, because like the part where I said, "No, baby, no, you may not go." So I like to put that so it attracts the reader more.
I noticed that you used AB rhyme, is that true?
Yes, that is true.
So our class is having a poetry tournament, and we're wondering why you think your poem should proceed to the next round.
Well, I think this poem should proceed because I gave it this really emotional feel to it. It starts out as a really cheerful argument between a mother and a child, but then it ends up as being the world's saddest thing in the world, a mother losing her child. And I use a lot of rhyme too. I mean, who doesn't like rhymes, right? And I gave a lot of rhymes, which gives that poem a lot more catchiness, and that's how I think the reader should really interpret the poem.
Yeah, the rhyme really does give rhythm to the poem.
Yeah, it does.
So what are some of your connotations, because it's such a powerful poem?
Well, I used a lot of really negative connotations back then, like guns and fires and jails, because I wanted the mother to sound more like a mother, to scare her child so her child wouldn't go to the march. So I kind of exaggerated that so I could scare the child like every mother would.
Mother dear, may I go downtown instead of out to play and march the streets of Birmingham in a freedom march today?
No, no, baby, you may not go, for the dogs are fierce and wild, and clubs and hoses, guns and jails aren't good for a little child.
But mother, I won't be alone. Other children will go with me and march the streets of Birmingham to make our country free.
No, baby, no, you may not go, for I fear those guns will fire, but you may go to church instead and sing in the children's choir.
She has combed and brushed her night dark hair, and bathed rose petals sweet, and drawn white gloves on her small brown hand, and white shoes on her feet. The mother smiled to know her child was in a sacred place, but that smile was the last smile to come upon her face. For when she heard the explosion, her eyes grew wet and wild. She raced through the streets of Birmingham, calling for her child. She clawed through the bits of glass and brick, then lifted out a shoe.
Oh, here's the shoe that my baby wore, but baby, where are you?